Live. Welcome. It is your favorite Unc Anwar Richardson. I am here, and I'm here to really I want to be here for a little bit of time, but I wanted to give you guys a couple of injury updates, a couple of important things that you probably need to know as Texas gets prepared to play against UTEP. So please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. So just in case something like this happens and your uncle just decides to randomly go live on a Wednesday night, you'll know exactly what's going on. So let me go ahead and break down a couple of things that you probably need to know, a couple of things that will help you as Texas gets prepared to face UTEP. I talked to a couple of people. I checked in with some folks this evening, and I got some news and information that I think will absolutely be 100% helpful for you. So let me start with, I would say, kind of the bigger news of the evening. And by the way, anything I'm saying to you guys right now, I just want you guys to understand, like French Montana said, don't panic. Okay, there's no need to panic, there's no need to worry, there's no need to fret. But these are little things that are going on right now within the program that I want to make you guys aware of. The first thing is DeAndre Moore. You guys may have noticed that wide receiver DeAndre Moore did get a little bit banged up in the previous game. You did come out. As I talked to some people this evening, I come to find out that DeAndre Moore has sustained a concussion in this previous game versus San Jose State. Now, the good part for DeAndre Moore is that he has been in the concussion protocol. Okay, so he's been in concussion protocol. I've been told that he is trending in the right direction. And so, because he is trending the right direction, there is some optimism that he will play this upcoming Saturday. Now, that being said, you guys know that Steve Sarkisian is going to be super cautious in these next couple of games. He's going to be very cautious versus UTEP. He's going to be very cautious against Sam Houston State. He's not going to rush anybody back who he feels like is not ready to be back, is not ready to be out there. So we'll see. He is trending in the right direction. However, if DeAndre Moore is not prepared to play or is not ready to go, or they just say, you know what, whatever, like we're just not going to do that. Two names I want you to keep an eye on for this upcoming weekend. First name is Dalen McCutcheon. Second name is Ryan Niblett. Those guys would be the guys that you would probably see getting a lot of the work in that slot position. The guy that I would definitely keep an eye on is Dalen McCutcheon, because I think Dalen McCutcheon is a guy that probably would be the person who ends up starting. He's the freshman who's a fantastic receiver, was previously committed to Florida State. Flipped it when things weren't going so good for Florida State. He flipped his commitment last year. He's at Texas now. He's been doing fantastic throughout the entire offseason. And so he's a guy that I absolutely would keep an eye on. But also know that Ryan Niblett is there. He's in the mix. He's in the fold as well. Between those two, if DeAndre Moore isn't able to go, and let's just be honest, if he is able to go, probably won't play that long, right? Hopefully for you, this will be a game that, we're talking about all the backups being in way earlier than we saw this past weekend, right? So if all goes well, if DeAndre Moore is not ready to go and they say like, hey, he needs another week, or they say he's ready to go, but they say, hey, we just want you to get a couple of touches and then go ahead and get out of there. Dalen McCutcheon, Ryan Niblett, those are the two guys I would absolutely keep an eye on. Those are the people I've been told you should definitely just take a mental note as relates to those guys, all right? You guys know that Alex January, the defensive tackle, he did not play in the previous game. He's not expected, when people I spoke to this evening, he's not expected to play this upcoming Saturday. I believe that he'll probably be back the following week. But right now, it doesn't look like Alex January is going to. And again, these are all just Steve Sarkisian and his staff just being smart about it and saying, you know what? We don't need these guys right now. We need these guys in October. When we get into the SEC play, there's no need to stretch these guys outside of their comfort zone. No need to stretch these guys if they're not 100%. We need these guys healthy down the line so we can win these games without these guys. Alex January is a guy not expecting to play this upcoming Saturday. Sure, some things can trend in a different direction. Listen, anything I say tonight, hey, maybe things change by the time we get to Saturday. But right now, as I'm telling you as we speak, that's probably a guy that you probably tell yourself, don't really expect to see him much this upcoming weekend. Is another guy I want you to keep an eye on. Jack Endries, y'all's favorite tight end, right? Y'all's new favorite tight end, Jack Endries. For what I'm hearing, for people I've spoken to, it looks like he might be limited this upcoming weekend. And a lot of these things is interesting because these folk they got some injuries, but everybody got to be a little bit more tight-lipped about these injuries nowadays because it's like they all know that they're really close. They all know they're really close. They all know this program's really close, and nobody really wants to shake the boat right now. So they're like, "Yeah, he's injured. I don't really want to talk about it. I'll give you a little something." What did Chris Rock say? How much for a rib, right? That's where we're at. Like, how much for a rib? Like, I ain't gonna give you the whole rack, but I'll give you a rib. The rib is, you got Jack Endries, and that's, by the way, nothing had to do with his ribs, but Jack Endries probably will be limited this upcoming weekend. But the good part is, if you're Texas and a Texas fan, that also gives you the opportunity if you don't need to play Jack much. And again, some of these guys who are injured, if the reality is that they're healthy and all goes well, you probably don't play them anyway. So whether it's Jack Endries or it's guys in the linebacker room, and that room's healthy, right? At the end of the day, what you're telling yourself is you still want to be able to get some guys in, some backups in, all those things, right? And so when you start thinking about that position, if Endries is limited and he gets, let's say he plays the first quarter or the first half, then you get an opportunity to see some guys after that, but they don't feel the need that they need to push him. Now, this goes in line with, we already know that Trey Wisner is probably not going to play, right? We already that's already been established that Trey Wisner, the running back, is not going to probably be in there. And again, the whole thought process behind him is, and all these guys, it ends up being kind of the blessing in disguise, right? Because typically you would have wanted, soft game in week 1, tough game in week 2, soft game in week 3, and then right back at it. Right now, Texas has the luxury of saying, okay, we went Ohio State, and then you went San Jose State. You got UTEP this upcoming weekend, Sam Houston. So now they really have the luxury of saying, all right, listen, let's just get everybody healthy. Let's get everybody healthy. Let's get everybody ready to go and get them going for that Florida game. And that'll be the thing is, the most important thing. And by the way, Zach, I see your question, like, what's wrong with Jack? I see everybody who's here in the chat. I see Court is here and things like that. And, right now, Zach, I'm going to say it like this. Is that those close to the situation are saying, hey, let's just keep certain things a little bit close to the vest right now. So out of respect for that and out of respect for the program that you love, all I can tell you right this moment, Zach, is that I wouldn't be overly concerned about any of these guys that we've been talking about. I wouldn't be overly concerned about DeAndre Moore, Alex January, Jack Endries. I wouldn't even be right now overly concerned about a Trey Wisner and where he's at either, right? I feel like this is what I would tell you. As I record this, or I say record this, as we're live, it's September 10th at 9:20 p.m. By the time you roll around to Florida, I think that's the date that really matters for you. That's where you need to know, okay, do I think these guys who I'm talking about tonight will not be ready by the time it's Florida weekend? No, I feel like those guys should be ready by the time we roll around to Florida. We got a few weeks before we get there, right? And so right now it's just about preventative maintenance. It's just about making sure those guys are healthy. And so just hey, get through UTEP, get through Sam Houston State, then you got the bye, and then you go, all right, Florida. You go, and then of course you go obviously to Oklahoma, well, Dallas, right? But you have the Oklahoma game, right? And now you're just kind of in the heat of things back to back to back to back. And like I said, I think the staff, kudos to them for understanding, the difference between, the battles and the war. And right now, they're like, if the goal is to win the war, we don't have to worry about these battles. And hell, if the way they've been recruiting, you don't have to really be tripping right now. Okay. So there you go. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys these updates this evening and didn't really want to wait until tomorrow to do it. So I just told myself, you know what, I'm gonna hop on live, I'm gonna throw some stuff up here so you guys can know and just kind of be up to date on your team. That's why it's important to subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, get the notifications that like, oh snap, we just came live with some injury updates. And if you like that and you appreciate that, then like the video, please. Because I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying like, hey, you came on at 9 something at night. It's past your bedtime, but you decided that you're going to keep working anyway. Well, yes, for y'all, I will absolutely do that. Okay, I will be back this week. More stuff from me, more stuff from Orange Bloods Live. We got everything that you want, everything you need. No need to go anywhere. Again, all I would tell you, French Montana, don't panic. Everything's going to be all right. But yes, there are some injuries that we need to monitor, but there's nothing that we should be overly concerned about. If you join us late, just go back to the beginning of the video and everything's going to be good and you'll be all caught up. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys in the morning. Y'all take care. Appreciate you.